Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my TI recap. We're in Survival Saturday, so we got a bit of a party going on here. So we said goodbye to 3 out of the 6 remaining teams, so we're gonna start off where we can, and it's gonna be a bit shorter today because I didn't really have much time to watch over most of the game, so it's a bit of a thought process and recap what happened about here. So anyway, let's get into the first series. The first series was Liquid versus Team Spirit. And Team Spirit decided, you know what, Liquid, you're not going to stay here. Went in, went out with the 2-0 versus Liquid. So Spirit advanced to the lower bracket semis to see how it goes on further with that one. And Liquid are sent home. I mean, for me, it was kind of a bit of an interesting one because I felt like Liquid was one of the teams who could adapt quite well. They did have their issues, and in the bracket, it really showed because, well, you lost the ban point already at the start of the game because you couldn't really handle the bounty hunter. So that meta development kind of kicked Liquid out of really the point where they could actually show up what they want to do. However, it happens, and it ruined my bracket completely, but hey, that is what happens sometimes, you know? So let's head on to the next series. Here we had the guys of Nigma Galaxy versus the Boom Boys. I would say the Boom Boys, I rated them pretty high before the tournament thanks to their weird group Swiss stage. I kind of put them further down there. They did beat out Nigma Galaxy, and it looks like we had a very sentimental goodbye to Samael, which I feel kind of bad about. He's been in the scene for quite a long time. He won TI in the first try, wanted to get that second and third one, never got there, and Boom Boys ended that run quite heavily, but that is how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and felt like was a really good series. Boom Boys kind of figured out what they wanted to do there. Enigma kind of had a step behind. That's kind of the Boom Boys kind of play style. They get ahead in the lanes, then they take a bit to fall back, and then sometimes they get in there again, sometimes they don't, which we'll talk about later on as well. So that's it. Enigma Galaxy are out as well, so that's 2 out of 3 already gone before we hit even the third matchup. So let's see how the upper bracket looks while we do that. So we had the upper bracket final versus from Team Vision versus Team Yandere. And if you know how I did the predictions at the start of I went with Vision 1, Yandex 2. I did let myself get a bit manipulated by the bracket stage, by the Swiss stage, to be honest, and didn't rate Yandex as high as I should have probably done because they are in the top 3 guaranteed with this upper bracket final. And they did have a good run against Vision, but Vision was just stronger, meaning that Team Vision head 2-1 into the grand final. They get to watch one series before they have to hit the stage tomorrow for a best of 5, where I think like we could get 5 games, but that we'll talk about probably a bit later. And with that, Yandex fall down to the lower bracket final, waiting for their opponent. And about those guys, we're going to talk about next. So we got the lower bracket semi, which is Boom Boys versus Team Spirit. And Team Spirit just woke up and decided, you know what, guys? We don't play around right now. They went 2-0 out with the Boom Boy. Bit of a surprise for myself as well, and especially the game time was pretty fast. It was about 35 minutes was the first game, 30 minutes the second game. So they decide, you know what, you're out of here, Boom Boys. You're going to be sent home. But that means that Team Spirit face off tomorrow at 10 o'clock Chinese time. They face off versus Yandex, who gets to play versus Vision later on. So anyway, that is that, and I'm gonna have a few thoughts about what happened today and a bit about how everything's gonna hopefully drawn out. So Gonna be right there. So, general developments I could say out of this day. So, one very interesting thing is that the former known as CIS region, or now EU, the East European side, they got all top 4 teams. They got Team Vision, they got Yandex, they got Spirit, they got Boom Boys, and funnily enough, I would say for myself as well, I had a pretty good scouting up till TI. I said before TI as predictions, or rather ranking, I was said Team Vision 1, Yandex 2, Boom Boys 3. Okay, that misled a bit, but I felt like they had a stronger ceiling than Spirit had, but they had a lower floor as well, so I went with the ceiling more than I went with the floor. And Spirit was number 4. And all 4 teams made it into the top 4. I mean, as I said, I kind of got Spirit and Boom Boys for right now kind of distracted, because I would have said, okay, Perry Vision, I give the best chance to win the tournament. Yandex second best, Boom Boys third, and Spirit, because I feel like they are the most figured out kind of style of all 4 teams. But it seems like that is not completely the case. We'll see how it goes. We got some storylines to go around for tomorrow. So for the first matchup, we have Yandex versus Spirit, and Yandex have been this whole season from TI 2025 to TI 2026. They've been the biggest thorn in Team Spirit's side. They've been eliminating them quite often, eliminating them out of qualifiers, eliminating them out of tournaments, grand finals, been lost for Spirit to Yandex. So this is a lot more than just reaching the TI final for the Spirit squad. They need to prove that they can beat their boogeyman to go up against a team that they have lost against twice in this TI already. So that's another thing we got to keep in mind right now. And that's kind of the funniest story about this one. So either we have the third matchup between Spirit and Vision as the grand final, which is a best of 5. I'm going to be very excited for that one. Or we have Yandex versus Vision, and that's the rematch of the upper bracket final. So whoever gets through this matchup gets a second or third crack at Vision, and that's going to be very interesting, I feel like. Because a lot of teams adapt quite nicely to each other, but Vision has been adapting the whole tournament, so it's going to be very interesting how this one goes. I said tomorrow if you're CST 4 in the morning. If you're Chinese, it's 10 in the morning. So we're gonna be excited. I'm gonna be excited. I'm probably gonna follow all of it, write down my notes, have a bit of a longer explanation than today, because today has been kind of a short one because I missed a lot of the matches, unfortunately. However, whoever tuned in, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.